All right. So, are you still on the phone?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, let's just keep this one real short. So just testing to see if Danny will be heard. Go. So just say something.
Yeah. What do you think of this alkaline water? So,
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that because our water here in Ventura is very hard. So we have to put what are these, like salt crystals or something, and a water softener. Yeah.
Yeah, water softener.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I just had the plumber over today because just out of the blue, the hot water heater just broke, like completely broke. And
yeah, because the temperature went down.
Yeah, like we had no hot water at all. It just completely broke. And when he came, he said that you're supposed to do like an annual flushing, like you flush it with vinegar or something to get rid of the salt crystals. And apparently the guy who installed it, which, from what I understand, the homeowner was kind of a contractor, so he did a lot of his own stuff. He installed it, but he didn't install it with a flushing system. So he never flushed it once. But it lasted 11 years without flushing it, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, for a water heater. Yeah, they had to replace where I rent, the little house that I rent.
Yeah.
It broke last year. So we had to do the whole thing last year, and it took a little while. It's just around this time also when it gets cold.
Yeah, it's always when it's cold outside. Like maybe in the summer you could actually take a cold shower, but in the winter it's not going to happen. So
yeah, no good.
Yeah, so it wasn't cheap. I'll just say that much. It was a couple grand.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it depends how big a tank you get. But yeah, you got it for your whole house. You're gonna need a big tank.
It wasn't cheap, and it's kind of a last minute thing. Christmas is coming up this weekend. Like the first plumber we called, he's like gone for 4 or 5 days. So, beggars can't be choosers. You got to have a hot shower. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I brought up the alkaline water because I was just at the store and I noticed that there are so many more brands of water now that show you the pH level.
Interesting.
And yeah, so I was going through them and it was like, a natural water, 5.5 pH, water with electrolytes, 9.5 pH. And I was like, well, what is the right level of pH? Because I have no idea. Because I'm used to just regular water.
Yeah.
I have no clue. So I bought 9.5, and I bought 5 but I bought little bottles just to see, if there's
better.
Any difference.
See what tastes better.
But, yeah, see if there's any difference. So far, the 9.5 has a little bit of an aftertaste, to be honest.
Interesting.
And I think it's because it's purified with electrolytes. Mm-hmm. So I think the electrolytes is what I'm tasting. But it doesn't make me feel like I'm just drinking water. I feel like I'm drinking like a different kind of drink now.
Yeah, alkaline water. Yeah, because the human body, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe is right around 7.4 pH. So,
and I think if you go to 9 or 10, you die, right?
Well, yeah, no. If you go to 9 or 10, you die. But luckily for us, our body has this thing called a buffer system, where it's able to maintain that level of 7.4 despite ingesting acidic foods or water and alkaline food and water up to a certain extent. So. Right,
yeah, because you don't want to raise it too much or you're done.
Right, so anything below 7.4 is like acidic to us. Below 7 is acidic to us, and anything above 7.4, like 8, 9, is alkaline to us.
Okay.
Because it's on like
it's
on like a log scale. Whatever. It's confusing, but it's like the Richter scale. It doesn't really make sense. But the farther away you go, the bigger it gets. Put it that way.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Like, have you been to the mall and they're selling you like a copper or something material wristband? That's supposed to change your pH level or something with copper.
Right.
And somehow if you wear this these 2 chains, you're gonna not hurt anymore. Like if you have arthritis or anything, if you want to quit smoking, you put one on. I don't know. It's the guy was trying to explain to me one day at the mall, and I was like, dude, this is hilarious, right? I was like, 'cause if I wear your jewelry, there's no way it's going to help me, but I understand there's a folk tale, about that.
Whatever works, honestly. That's what I think. If it makes.
I saw an episode of Shark Tank where someone tried to bring that, something like that, and Cuban was just
he gets shot down.
Yeah, he's like, you don't have a chance, buddy. I don't I can't invest in anything like this. That's he said, she said.
Well, I'm surprised they can let him on the show. I mean, because I know a lot of it's just for free publicity. Whether they get picked or not. On the Shark Tank.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You get exposed to a million people watching. You get a million ads for free, basically. So free publicity. But there is a screening process. They don't just let anyone on the show, right? So you've got to be like legit and have a good.
Well, the first few seasons, people I think were really trying, and then now the bigger companies that actually have money and they don't really want more investors, but like they wouldn't really give up a lot of equity. Mm-hmm. Now they're checking it out. Like I saw a lady go on there, and they got mad at her. Like Cuban got really mad, And then what's the name of the guy? He owns Virgin Airlines.
Oh, Branson. Richard Branson? Is that right?
Yeah. So then Richard Branson threw a glass of water in Cuban's face. He was so angry, and then they were pissed at each other. On that.
That's all part of the script. Like, hey, at some point you got to get angry and throw water on his face for the audience.
No, I don't think it was a script, man, because he was really mad at the lady because she was basically doing publicity because she wasn't really there because she already had millions of dollars. And the company was already making millions of dollars, and she was willing to offer them 5% equity for $250,000 or $500,000 or whatever. And he was trying to she explained that they don't really need the money, right. So they'd be willing to give that just to have a shark. Really, that'd be the only reason. It was he got really mad about how hey, you're taking away from someone who really could need this opportunity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And you're coming here wasting our time. You don't even really need the money. And you're going to give us a really low ball crappy offer because you don't even really respect that we're the Sharks.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it
works. And then he kind of,
the whole point. They're the Sharks.
Yeah. And then he kind of got in and he told Cuban, look, she can do whatever she wants. She has a successful company. She wants to go on here and that's what she values it at. Mm-hmm. It's fine. She made it on here and we got to at least hear her out. And was happy because her company was giving yoga to anyone around the world, with an app where you could do a yoga and there was free stuff and then you could pay for a different seminar. And I guess he's into yoga. So it was
that's why, cause I mean,
so
I don't watch it that often, but the few times I've seen it, usually Cuban is, one of the grumpy guys on the show. And I've heard a couple times, it's hey, we're the Sharks, you're coming here asking for us for a deal. So we're going to, we're obviously going to get the better end. I mean, that's just the point of the show, right? We've got to get
definitely
for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're always saying that. So it's funny that Cuban is saying the opposite now, just because he likes yoga. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever put that app on your phone, that Mobdro app, they have Shark Tank 24/7.
That's all it is.
So,
people.
No, I'm saying they have different channels. So one's Seinfeld, one's Shark Tank.
People that don't have jobs, whatever, they can't afford the cable, so they get Mobdro, and then all you do is just watch Shark Tank all day, learning how to cut deals.
Yeah, you just try to get out in the game.
I know. It's that's how you learn. It's you watch enough episodes of Shark Tank, you're all right, I think I can do this. Let's go. Start a business.
Yeah, I mean, I catch myself watching Seinfeld all the time, you know what I mean? Even though I've seen every episode.
Yeah. Well, I've probably seen at least half the episodes of Seinfeld. I don't know if I've seen every episode, but I've seen at least half, probably 2/3, 3/4. I was watching it, every Thursday, back in the day, back in the 90s.
Right.
So I've seen a lot, but I don't, I'm pretty sure I've not seen every Seinfeld episode.
Well, when the DVD series started coming out, I knew a lot of people who had those, and it was let's just do that. Let's just binge watch this.
I know, but now people don't want DVDs anymore because it just clutters your house. It's why get a DVD? I have Netflix, or you've got, whatever, or a bunch of illegal streaming services, right?
When they get more content, because still, even though Netflix is cool, it's literally lacks on content, because I used to use a site that was called The Cloud. Pay $10 a month, and you basically rent however many gigabytes of space, and then you could download to your cloud whatever you wanted, movies, shows, whatever, but anything. But you could only have that much in your cloud, and then you'd have to erase something and bring something else in there.
Interesting. And there was a legit site? It wasn't some sort of...
Yeah, it was a legit site because you were just renting space. You weren't copywriting content. You didn't own any content. Mm-hmm. You could just watch it. And it was really cool because they had everything. You know what I'm saying? Like really anything you typed in, you could find. And that was it.
I
so
know
it was
there's
like
places, there's something that used to be called Super Chillin'. It's, I'm probably, my guess is it's not, legal in the sense that, it would be authorized by the FCC or whoever, regulates these things. But, it has so much content. I mean, they had thousands of movies. I mean, things you've never even heard of, like thousands and thousands of movies, TV shows. It's all out there.
I don't think it's against the law to watch something. I think it's against the law to sell it or to own it. That's what the copyright is you're not allowed to take something that you don't own and then go and sell it to 20 people.
Right.
But if you want to just watch it on your TV set or your phone, you can watch it and see it, but you can't sell it or transfer it to anybody.
So I guess that's why streaming is so popular, because streaming, it's like you're not selling anything, right? You're not really
right.
So it's
you're giving it for free, and then the advertisers are paying.
Right. So you're kind of like skirting the edges of the law, because you're technically not stealing anything, but you're like showing something without the license to do so. So it's kind of like
right. And the thing is, you can't make that against the law to see something, because seeing things is public domain.
Right.
If it goes over the internet that you pay for over whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's public domain. You're allowed to see it. It's like being in public and taking a picture and someone's in it. Yeah. It's not against the law. You can have them in your picture, but then if you go and try to make money off that picture and they're in it, you have to blur their face or they can sue you because they didn't agree to commercial.
So the person who's actually streaming it, they're the one that has to be a little careful, because they can bust them. But anyone that's watching it, they're fine, because like you said, you're just watching something and you're not, paying.
Well, the person streaming it, as long as they own that channel, like they pay for that channel, it's not against the law for them to stream it.
Really?
Because they're not selling it. Yeah, like if I put up my phone to my TV set and show a football game, and people in Japan were watching it, that's not against the law. I have that. I pay for that channel. I can do whatever I want. I can take a picture of it. But if I try to make money on it, like now I'm selling to where I go, hey, I'll only stream this to you if you pay me $10 a month. Then I can get in trouble. You see what I mean? When I start charging.
Yeah, because on YouTube, what I see a lot of people do on YouTube is they'll stream, a football game or something from, I don't know if they're doing it from their cable or they're doing it from like satellite or from like another country. So they might be streaming from a stream or something, but they're streaming and they're putting it on YouTube. So they're streaming it to YouTube, and then it usually works fine until YouTube shuts them down. So eventually YouTube finds them and they always shut it down. But the way they get money is they ask for like a Patreon or, hey, email me money. Like they're not like, it's not like an official thing. It's like,
they want a donation.
Yeah, donation, exactly. If you like this,
yeah, yeah, donation's different, because the donation, you didn't ask for any money. It's like if I stood in front of my house with a lemonade stand, but I didn't sell lemonade, but I told you could give me a donation.
Then it's different.
I would be allowed to do that. But if I had a lemonade stand and I charged $1 a glass, I wouldn't be allowed to because I don't have a permit.
Yeah, you don't have a license permit. Yeah, I know it's very interesting. Like I don't know all the rules, but like if you knew the laws, the rules, I'm sure you could find ways to like stream constantly.
Yeah, I see on the strip actually people doing that with water during the summer, where they'll say $1 donations, water. And the police can't give them tickets because they're giving away the water. Yeah. But the people who say water for $2 selling, they get tickets and kicked out of there for vending, peddling.
Yeah, here's a $150 ticket or whatever, $250 ticket. You got to go to the
right.
city.
And I saw people trying to do it with beer, but the thing with beer, even though they're asking for a donation, is because beer you can't give away, right? Because not in public, because it's illegal to drink in public, even though it's allowed on the strip. It was like a weird line. Like I saw guys doing it, saying, $1 donation for a can of beer, and they're walking around the Bellagio fountain. I saw a lot of people buying beers from them.
It's a great idea. I think it's very ingenious.
I mean, it's a great idea, but the thing is, if you give it to one person who's under 21,
you're busted.
You're busted. But the thing is, I don't know if you're allowed to give away alcohol like that, even though it's allowed there. I don't know. I don't know the rule, but I mean, you'd have. It's not against the law if I gave a beer to my cousin in front of the Bellagio fountain, right? Because it's legal to drink out there as long as it's not glass. I don't know. I thought it was really strange, but I know those guys are definitely making money.
Yeah, That's very interesting. That's a very interesting. Yeah, I don't know why is that different. So exactly. So I mean, these are the types of like nuances that you need to know in any sort of market, whether it's selling water or donating, donating water, whatever you want to, or accepting donations of water, streaming, or any industry,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. If you know like where the edges are, like you can kind of play that game for a while until they make new laws or rules to crack down on that stuff.
Yeah, they'll definitely find the laws and the rules to do that, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to profit from everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if someone's making money, everyone else wants a piece of that action when it gets to a certain point. You know what I mean?
I know. See the same thing with electric vehicles, right? Because like there's you get a tax deduction or a credit for electric vehicles, and the price of gas. Like they just increase the gas tax, collect more money
Right.
on gas because people are using less gas if there's more electric vehicles, so they have to keep increasing the taxes to pay for that. So if people aren't getting their taxes through, paying the taxes through gas, they're going to just have to crack down on electricity. They're going to increase the electricity tax, or they increase the maintenance tax on the power grid or whatever. Like they always close the loophole at some point somewhere.
Well, they did that here. They did that here in Vegas with Solar City. I mean, it was like Solar City was killing it. A lot of people were buying packages and making their house fully solar.
Mm-hmm.
They could get off the grid, but the utilities didn't want that. So the utilities came in and said, even if you go off the grid, and people had so much extra energy that they could actually put it back into the grid and power their neighbor.
You're right.
So the utilities got involved and basically shut it all down. Or you can have solar, it doesn't matter, but you're still paying this rate. So whatever energy you're using from your solar, now they're still metering it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still sending you a bill, even though you're not using electricity from them. But they'll give you a rebate credit. So it ended up basically putting that Solar City out of business.
Wow.
Place had to file bankruptcy. And that's how it works, is they just shut down the small guys. And that was a great idea, because these things were at one point, I mean, they were getting so much incentives and tax write-offs that it was like to do your house, saying where you are fully independent. You're at like whatever, 3 gigahertz or whatever they call it, a month. I mean, you're paying $24,000, and then you're getting back like 18,000 of it.
Yeah.
So that was like great deals, But there you go. Even though we're trying to get rid of all this fossil fuels and all that. I mean, I watched the thing yesterday or the day before yesterday about plastic. Okay.
Yeah.
And about how the future is basically plastic is like steel. It's hard to make. And the future is recycling the plastic that we already have, because when we run out of gasoline, we're not going to be able to make any more plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm watching them recycling plastic, and do you see how much energy they use to recycle?
I have no idea. Like, is it more energy than it is just to create it?
That's what I'm saying. It's insane, man. I'm watching them, like all the steps and all the things they have to do, and all these electronics and machines. I mean, it's like, dude, how much energy are you using to recycle that thing?
Well, if they can power it with solar, then I guess it's fine. Except that the utilities are going to want to, charge them for all that solar consumption that they're using, even though they're harvesting.
Yeah, I mean,
themselves.
I was seeing solar chargers. I can't find them as much now. I even saw there was a bottle of water. This bottle takes the moisture out of the atmosphere and creates water in your bottle.
Wow, that's awesome. Like you just leave it overnight, and then when you wake up in the morning, there's water.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, it fills itself up. But it's like all these things, you see them, and then they like disappear.
I know there's great ideas, and then they're like, use these plastic bags and pollute the environment. It's like, wait a second, we're trying to move past that. It's like,
yeah, like that's a great idea, man.
No, kick you back to the curb. Like that's too good of an idea. Back to where we were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I want to charge you 99 cents for alkaline water. So,
I know. It's like you add a little bicarb, or whatever. I don't know. They probably add a few minerals, bicarb, whatever. Changes the pH a little bit. Costs pennies, and then they can sell you water, basically tap water.
Right.
For $1.
Well, they use reverse osmosis.
Sure.
Purified by reverse osmosis.
I mean,
but yeah,
I
it does have
look,
hydroxide, calcium chloride, and magnesium
I like
chloride.
bottled water as much as the next person, okay? Because I like the taste and I know it's as long as it's not from a bottle from an industrial source. But if it's like spring water, mountain spring water, it's supposed to be reasonably fresh, tastes good. So look, I like it as much as the next guy, but I can even see. I mean, selling water is like, it's like you're selling air, right? I mean, no one can make water, right? Water is just, it rains, water, it
Right.
collects as snow. Snow melts.
On the spring, that's
goes in a
it.
river, goes into a spring. Does someone own the spring? Like that's my spring, and then they're just putting it in a bottle and selling it to you. It's like,
I mean, I'm hearing Nestle owns all of it.
you know what I mean? Yeah, or it's like Nestle, but it's the same thing. It's like if you could just get water from the air, like if you can just condense it and then get it from the air, it's like, why do you need to buy water? Like the whole, like we're paying $1 for a plastic bottle with a pretty sticker and some guy collecting it. So
something that ran through a filter.
Yeah, well, if it's from an industrial source, it's run through a filter, and if it's from a spring, then I mean, because the industrial source water, like if it just says drinking water, then that it's literally just tap water that they filtered. That's it.
Right. And it tastes
charging you, and they're charging. Here's $4 for some water, but that's what I'm saying. It's like water. There's a whole ocean full of water, but of course it's got salt and other things that you gotta filter out. But my point
it's a little hectic to drink that one, but yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of these resources, water especially. I mean, like gas to a certain extent. It's like, yeah, I mean, it took millions of years to I guess condense and be created. Fossilized dinosaur bones, what everyone says, or plants or whatever. So I mean, that took a long, it was a process to get to where that is, and then someone had to extract it out of the ground with a drill. So I mean, it actually takes a little work, and you had to have some ingenuity. But water, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, we all can't live without water. I mean, humans for thousands of years, have been fine drinking water. I guess not during the bubonic plague, whatever. I guess they should have washed their hands more. But you know what I mean? Like, my point is, there's so many industries like that where if someone can control it, there's like nothing you can do, and they're just profiting wildly. Like, how much does the water cost? Like, it's essentially free if you own the spring, right? So they're just selling you.
I mean, being a bottling company is like the best gig in town. You know what I mean? Because you're not doing anything.
No, you just collect.
I mean, you created nothing.
You just hope that it rains enough and that there's enough snow, and you collect the water.
That's it. That's all you did.
That's it.
And you had good, just like warehouses.
Yeah, you get some warehouses, some marketing, slap some stickers on it, get it tested, check the alkalinity or whatever, or the acidity, and
Yeah. It reminds me of Spaceballs. Remember, he had all the cans of air. You want to take all the air?
Well, that's not so funny anymore, because I actually heard that in China people are actually buying bottled air.
I saw that. I didn't read that too.
Yeah. So I mean, what was a joke is now reality.
That's the next thing. I mean, we can just fill cans with air.
Go to Alaska, get some air, and ship it.
I mean, really, it doesn't matter where you get the air.
To be honest, just get air, and then just filter it, and then sell it. You go, here's your air.
Just get an oxygen tank. Just pressure right into the can.
I know. When you start thinking about it, it just drives you crazy, because you're like, wait, so they're charging you for solar power, which the frickin' sun is burning. It's giving us this energy. We have no control over that, but that's where the solar's coming from. But water, we have no control over when it rains, whatever. Humans, at least not yet. But there's so few things we have control over. But the industries are regulating it and taxing it and controlling it and charging you to do this. I mean, and yes, they should get something, because they are providing a service, right? Someone's got to maintain the grid. Someone's got to fix it. Someone's got to check the safety of the water and make sure it's not poisonous. And all, so there is a cost involved. But I mean, when you think about what it is they're giving you, something that is technically already there and has always been there, and no humans. It's beyond human ingenuity, I guess. Like weren't able to generate solar energy yet. We're not able to create our own water on a mass scale. Like maybe you can create a little bit in a lab or condense a little
in a water bottle.
Yeah, in a water bottle.
That does it.
But not
moisture.
Yeah, moisture farming, moisture evaporators like Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Good stuff.
Anyway, yeah, so let me check this. I really just wanted to get in touch with you. It's been, it's nice talking to you on the phone as always. And, check to see if this voice will work on the YouTube stream so I can upload it. And if the sound quality is good like this, I'll just do it like this.
Mm-hmm.
If the sound quality is a little weak, we can try other things. I can try my headset, and I've got a couple different video cameras, video streams. Try a couple different things, but I can hear you well on my end, and I'm hoping that that'll pick up on the recording as well.
All right, sounds good. So, what up, YouTube? If it's up there.
All right, cool. We'll see. All right, we'll see how it works out. All right, well, it's nice talking to you.
All right, later on, man.
All right, bye.